This episode of Private Talk Podcast is brought to you by Stereo, the app for live social conversations, and we want to talk directly to you, our listeners. You can join our show to play a fun game we like to call Truth with Texas, where I ask you questions and get to know a little more about each of my fans. Every episode, I'll tell you the secret password that you will need to remember to participate in the game that week, so you make sure you listen every week for a chance to connect with me live on Stereo. This week's password is truth. We want to hear everything. Download the Stereo app now and join us live this week. Link below for our show. Hello, hello, hello. It's Private Talk Podcast with Alexis, Texas, and we're back season 2 with another episode. Today we have singer-artist Ivy with us. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming on the Private Talk couch.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We're welcoming you. We get to know you a little bit better. So you're an artist. You're a singer.
Yes.
What do you have out right now?
I have actually I have quite a few songs out. I've got like 2 singles that I dropped actually under Warner last year. So that's exciting. Work Too Hard and Swimmin' featuring Trippie Redd.
How is it working with Trippie?
It was a lot of fun. So
that was your single debut, and having such a big person on the record. How did that all come about?
I was in the studio and I created the song, and I've known Trippie for a while, and I played it for him. He loved the record, and he's like, I'll hop on it.
So it just happened like copacetically, it just energetically just happened.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's when it comes, and it's the best kind of thing, because it was meant to be kind of.
Right. That's why we dropped it. I'm like, yo, this is it. Like, this is the one. We got to push it. Like, because the energy's there. And also, like, dropping a song with an artist who, like, also, like, enjoys your music. It's, like, way better than just a purchased feature, For
sure. And it definitely helps because, you have, like, that chemistry already because you knew each other and you kind of knew your style and kind of vibe like that.
Yeah, facts.
Is there any other artists, similar to him that you would want to work with in the future?
I feel like I have worked with a lot of my artists that I've like wanted to, I recently just did a song with Playboy Cardi. Awesome. And that was really cool.
When can we expect that out?
Ooh, I honestly, I'm thinking about dropping, not even thinking, it's happening. I'm dropping a project. It's a little mixtape. It's called Get Rich and Cry Trying. And then I have my album, which is Melanin Monroe. And really, I'm just deciding on which one I want to put it on. But both of them are done, so.
That's awesome. Soon. So I'm sure during COVID times you had lots of time to, create in the, in the studio. And is that why you have 2 projects already completed?
Yes, absolutely. So whenever I signed late 2019, and we didn't start really picking up because it was around holidays until top of 2020. And top of 2020 is whenever COVID hit. So I was supposed to be touring and headlining and opening for people. And all of that energy ended up being like more directed into just more studio time, which I absolutely love being in the studio. So yeah, I've got quite a few projects done, features, we've got artwork done, I try to stay busy.
That's awesome. I mean, it's one of those people, as like being a creative, it's, the kind of like a gift and a curse at the same time. Is like, yes, you wanted to go on tour, you want to do all these things, but it's like sometimes things happen for a reason to kind of like maybe build and create your craft a little bit better before you go out there. Yeah. So signing with, Time Warner, how did that whole process go? Like, how does that go about? Tell Private Talk how that process of getting signed to a major label like that happens.
Right. I really don't know for like other artists per se. Like for myself personally, I can say that I wasn't looking to sign. I wasn't looking to sign a deal. I really didn't know anything about labels. I personally, I've been singing in my entire life. I've been writing music my entire life. I actually moved out to New York with like $300 in my pocket. And I'm like, I'm going to make it here. And I don't know how the fuck I'm going to do it. But I'm going to do it. And I just started like live performing my songs out there for random events. And I met my team through Instagram and stuff. I was reaching out to people. I found people I wanted to work with. Came out here to LA, and I did no more than 2 songs. They weren't even out like streaming really. They were just like YouTube and whatnot. And labels started reaching out. So I flew all over New York and back here in Atlanta. I met with all the labels. And I wanted to bring the label that I've been working with. I wasn't signed to. It's The Wasted Youth. It's like all my homies like out of Florida, Jordan Hollywood, Skip on the Beat, Smash David. And I'm like, I'll sign to whatever label agrees to like bring them on, like, so.
So you're signed with them through them, or?
I'm signed directly to Warner, but they brought my label with me. It was just kind of like a joint venture kind of situation.
That's awesome to have that control and, you know, people reaching out to you and having that kind of almost the ball in your court in a sense.
Yeah.
And so you kind of get to dictate a little bit of what team you have, because that's really important to, you know, continue your craft and feel comfortable with who you are and who you want to become as an artist, to have people that are the right people behind you in through this whole process.
Yeah, for sure. It's super important, creative control, and just making sure, like, especially being like new to the business, I didn't want to get like, you know, screwed over. Like, that's like a big stigma out here.
You hear it all the time, and people are like, watch out, don't do that. And then sometimes, you know, it is good to be cautious of those things, but it's also too, where it's like, not that you know everything, because nobody really does, but, you know, you get a sense of feeling or what's right and what's wrong. And it's kind of like, sometimes you just got to like dive in and just see where it takes you. And that's the way I sometimes feels like the most beautiful things kind of happen.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a quick learner, so.
So I heard that, you know, your song started getting more traction when you released it on a social media platform. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So all of my songs that I originally dropped, not even all of them are out on like streaming platforms. My original songs, we just kind of shot for like $0. Like, we did it on iPhones. We did it on just like random cameras that we had. And we were dropping them on SoundCloud and just Instagram. And I had maybe like 4 or 5 homies that would share it. And just through our like mutual connections, people were sharing our videos to like A&Rs and CEOs and label executives. And they were like, hey, like this is something right here. And a lot of other artists found me that way. It was really cool. One of the first artists to ever reach out, and this is before I was like really even talking to labels, one of the first ones I talked to, but EXO reached out, and they were like, hey, like The Weeknd DM me. It was like, yo, I like your music, like we should link. And so I met with, I believe, I don't want to get it wrong, I think it's Interscope that they're signed with. So I reached out, we talked to them, and, you know, everyone was just so like welcoming in like the weirdest way. I didn't expect music industry to be that way, but everyone really liked my music and my sound. And so we ended up just, we pumped the brakes on that, my team and I. Was like, I wasn't ready to just jump into any deal. I didn't even know how to like thoroughly read through like the contracts before I started like signing stuff. So I took about like almost a year and just worked on my craft before I started like talking to labels again. And after that, I found like the home label where I decided to be with.
That's amazing. So do you have a project with The Weeknd that's coming out that we can expect too?
With The Weeknd? Not yet, but I've been working on it.
So what other celebrities have slid into your DM and be like, hey, your voice is amazing, let's do a collab, or that you've even worked with? You said you've worked with a lot of people that were kind of, that you're maybe, you know, influenced by.
I have, oh my gosh, I have a lot of songs. Okay, so I have a song that's coming out on my project with Jeremiah, and that was something like I had to do because Jeremiah is like, for me, like king of R&B. Like,
for sure.
What? Like, he can sing his ass off.
It's your panties wet, girl.
Facts, exactly. I'm like, birthdays, you know, so I'm just like, okay, I have to do this. And his vocals are amazing. I have a song with Sway Lee, one with Lil Uzi, and like these people, like I've linked with these people, and I played them my stuff, and they're like so impressed, and they're like, yo, like you got something, you know? And really, it's just like, I'm down to work with any artist, like not even just large names. It's incredible that large names are like reaching out to me. But
you're hungry. I love it. It's like, that's what happens. Like, you know, when you're new coming up, it's like, it's almost like you'll take anything, but not, you know what I mean? These are really those respected artists, you know, that are coming telling you, hey, like you've got it. So everybody has like that star factor, and you either have it or you don't. Right. But it seems like you have it. I'm excited to hear your new projects coming out.
Thank you.
Where can we find your projects once it does really be released?
Once it's released, you can find me on all streaming platforms. I'm everywhere.
Do you have a website?
I do. So it's iv4.com. It's so simple. And then also my username for everything is ivv4, or on streaming platforms it's just iv4.
All right, Private Talk, you heard her. Make sure you go there and make sure you support her. She's going to be the next hottest thing. I can feel it. So who are some of your inspirations musically? Musically,
man, that's always like such a hard question, because I don't think anyone ever in the history of time, for me, has ever made music that I'm like, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. But I do love so many different artists. Like Janis Joplin is one of my favorites. I love Amy Winehouse. I love like powerhouse voices for women and also men. I listen to a lot of rock and metal. Like that's like my main thing that I listen to.
Do you feel like that's why your music has so many multiple genres? Like, you know, you have pop, R&B, and you have all kind of just like everywhere.
For a lot of people, like whenever they hear my music, they're like, okay, cool. So like, what is she? And that question, like, I've never understood that question. Like, what am I? Like, because you have to pick a genre, which is so insane. Like, you pick
You're
one
like, why
thing.
can't I just be them all?
Exactly. Like I could top every chart. Like if people like were about it.
Well, that definitely should be a goal of yours that you should set, you know, because that is something that it's like, it's more than a trifecta. It's more than, you know, something that it's whatever. And I don't even know if it's been done.
Yeah. I mean, Taylor Swift honestly is like the only person like I can think of that I've seen like jump like 2 major genres, like going from country to going to like, she was like hip hoppy pop for like a while, and like country, no one like leaves country music like without, you know, BS. And that was wild, you know, to do that and then to be successful in both and still have people like support it. So yeah, I mean, it can be done.
Big shoes to follow, but I think, you know, like I said, it can be done. And it's like you're already planting those seeds now. You're already doing music like that now. So it's like, why not? And, you know, if you find that hit, then it's just going to happen. The fans are going to make it happen.
Yeah, true.
So what other projects besides your music do you have going on? Do you have, like, you know, branding is a big thing. Social media is a big thing. How important is, you know, social media to your brand?
Social media has been extremely important to my brand, specifically because as a new artist, like moving here and not knowing a whole lot of people, putting my music out just there, it helped me like reach out. People could find me easier, kind of get a sense of like who I am and like what I was doing. So yeah, it helped me connect with a lot of other artists, and especially here, like now in quarantine. Hopefully we're coming out of the end of that, but it's helped me like keep in touch with my fans and make new fans and keep like releasing music and people seeing it without having to be like physically in front of their faces.
It's like your own marketing like tool for, it's like, you know, this is me, this is where you have my work, this is where you do your videos, which you know what you're into, which is really neat. I feel like, you know, social media has changed, you know, people's platforms for a lot of things, especially now with the whole TikToking and like thrillers and YouTube, you know, it's fascinating to see each individual lane of like how it's prosperous for that individual person.
Right. Yeah. I just started with the TikTok and I'm doing pretty well on TikTok. I'm not going to lie. I was like, maybe I'm too old for TikTok, but like I'm 24, but I feel like I'm like 50 something. So,
old soul?
Yeah. Very old soul. I'm here now, but yeah, I'm doing pretty all right at TikTok. Twitter, I can't get a hold of yet, but soon, one day.
It'll happen for you.
Yeah.
I can feel it. You're young. You still have like all those, you know, what direction your business is going and your brand. And I feel like once you really know, not that you don't, it like all just kind of like puts puzzle pieces together.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the she devil concept. Where does that come from?
So I honestly, like behind my creative process, whenever I like to write out my treatments for my videos, for my music videos, I actually like design the costumes, you know, like I had a stylist come and like help me figure out where to get them like made. They're all handmade here in LA, which is amazing.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I really like to be hands-on creatively. But behind that, I have like Ivy the 4 is my lucky number, you know. But also I feel like I have 4 different main parts of like my personality, and whether that be like with attitude or aesthetic. And I just kind of like pull from that. And for that one, for Work Too Hard, I was like, oh yeah, we're definitely gonna go like she devil. That's who like I feel like low key I am on the inside just a little bit.
So is that like, part of the 4?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the other 3?
So I've got Ivy from the Midwest, because I am. So we've got manners.
St. Louis, correct?
St. Louis, it's country hood, but we have manners, and you know, like I know my neighbors, like I know every back road, like it's something like that. So
I'm from Texas. That always, you know, it's to me, it's like you either you get it or you don't. The country life. Like when I first moved to LA, it was like you would like back home, you like stop at a stoplight and you wave or you acknowledge people, and then here they're like, why are you looking at me? They're like, I don't know you. And it's like it's very different than Southern living, but it's cool to come to the big city, you know, in LA like that, and like implement those still Southern things.
I get that a lot. I would meet with like different artists, and they'd be like, wow, like you're different, or like you're weird, and I'm like, okay. And they're like, yeah, you're just so normal, you know. And I'm like, I'm gonna take that as a compliment right now, you know,
as you should.
But they just don't see it out here. It's something that was different to like become accustomed to. But yeah, that's definitely one of the little personalities. And then I've got my super like feminine superstar, like that's like Ivy. Like I can turn that on and off, and that's like whenever I perform, and she's like pop star diva, like she gets it. I was inspired a lot by like Mariah Carey. I love my Etta James, Ella Fitzgerald. So those are like powerhouse women. They know what they want, you know. But also like I'm mixed, so I'm mixed with a lot. But I love the Paris Hiltons and the Lindsay Lohans and my Kim K's and stuff like that. I like the girls that are just like a part of the 2000s culture type stuff. So that's bomb too. I feel like that's like embodies one, you know. And then I've got the bad bitch. That's the she devil.
That's the she devil. Is she the one that comes out the most? Or do they all come out and play equal opportunity?
Equal opportunity, you know? Some people call it code switching. I feel like we're all made up of just a bunch of different things that like we found in life that inspired us. And, you know, we've created like this whole persona. I feel like mine just don't flow as easily, you know, like they snap in and out. So, but yeah, She Devil Bad Bitch. Like I was like, she needs to be shown. I did that in the Swimming music video too. I switched my style up like a whole bunch. I had probably like 10 wardrobe changes for 10 different characters.
A woman in my own heart, I like wardrobe changes.
Right?
You got to,
So
and like, especially with all these personalities, you know, that's coming out. And again, it's a character.
Right.
You know, I was in the adult entertainment business myself, and you know, Alexis Texas is not who I am all the time, but it's a persona, and who, you know, probably more my bad bitch that came out. That's like, as far as this is my owning my sexuality and who I am as a woman. That, you know, it's just what that is. But it's, again, I'm not Alexis Texas 24/7. So it's like, you kind of have to counterbalance every other part.
Yeah. As an entertainer, like you have to be able to turn it on and turn it off. And, you know, and that's what like separates us, is like, we're like actors in a way, but like, it's like live performance constantly. What is that, like method acting or something?
Yeah. So. I mean, it's like, you know, being an artist is like so many facets. Like you said, you write your own music, you're, you know, hands-on to the point. And I always love people who are way more hands-on, because I feel like you want it more. Absolutely. You're kind of more hungry for it. Not that the other people aren't, maybe they're just not, you know, experienced in those fields, but having control of your outfits and your makeup and, you know, your dance moves and all those little things add up. And that's, you know, what makes it create superstars.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Definitely have to be hands-on. I feel like, yeah, no shade to those people who don't, but I've definitely seen artists that like, they don't have to do anything. Like you
just show up.
They show up, and that's a wonderful career if all you wanted to do was show up. But for me, like, this is something that I'm 100% solely interested in. It would be easier just to let someone else take the reins, you know, but also I feel as though I wouldn't be able to forgive myself if something didn't turn out the quality that I want, or if I made it, you know, or if I didn't make it, you know?
So with signing with your label, do they still allow you to be the person and the artist that you want to be thus far? You know, having all those things, because some people, you know, they talk about when they're signed, you know, they have to be a certain way, or they're not allowed to do certain things. Do you have a lot of creative control?
Yeah, I haven't ran into that problem, you know, fingers crossed, like I never have to, but that was something that was super important to me. I took a few meetings with different labels, and with certain labels, like, I mean, they were straight up like, they were very blunt. They were like, cool, like, we're going to get you writers, and we're going to get you, you know, like a stylist marketing team type thing, and we're going to make you into this. And I just kind of walked out. Like, I was done. Like, I don't need, you know, that. Like, I feel as though, like, I've got this, you know, like, if I'm bringing someone onto a team that I've already previously been working on and we've been building ourselves, like, I hope that they would see my vision. Otherwise, like, it's just bad business. And yeah, I've had other labels just for different reasons want me to be something else. But the one that I decided to like go with, we have full creative control, like myself, like, and I really, it's not that I'm just like 100% gung ho, it's my way or the highway. I only work with people, like, it's collaborative, but we have to be seeing the same vision. That's
important, because it's like, you know, especially nowadays, and it's like being a woman in any industry, I feel like if you don't know how to speak up for yourself, then you're going to get either left behind or made into something that you really don't want it to be.
No, yeah, for sure. Definitely being young, inexperienced, a woman, you know.
We have all these, like, you know, things on our back already. And it's like, you got to like climb through all these things, but you know, it can be done. You know, obviously you're in those process of doing it. I look forward to seeing what all of that transpired to in even a year, because, you know, like you said, last year is when you signed, and it's like, everybody forgets that it takes time.
Oh yeah.
You know, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't, you know, all these things like, that's part of like, when you make it, I feel like why it's so important to like, kind of just realize and look back at all the work that you did to get to that point.
Absolutely. I mean, I see the growth, but definitely gotta remind yourself.
So I heard you did a collab with your little sister. Tell us a little bit more about that. Is she an artist herself, or is it something you guys just did for fun?
She is an artist. I mean, I feel like my whole family, just like my tight-knit family, like we're all so artsy-fartsy, like we just do it. So, but yeah, she can sing her little ass off, and I hadn't seen her in a long time. My mom, she has my brother and myself, and those are her kids with the same man, my dad. And then my dad just kind of went out and just had like a bunch of other kids, like all with different people. So it's so crazy. We're all connected, but I hadn't seen her in so long. She flew herself out to LA randomly. Like I hadn't talked to her in years. And I'm the oldest. She flew herself out, and she's like, yeah, and I sing too. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm recording right now. Like, hop on the mic. And it was just something so like moving whenever we were singing together. I just like, I miss my little sister. And like, I feel like that really like showed in the song, just like how, I don't know, just in tune we were with each other.
Sure, it's like a bonding experience.
Yeah.
So because like you don't have to speak about maybe like your family stuff, but like singing, you know, music is therapy.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for sure, like everything was said right there on the song, you know, just like singing together. And I mean, she's kicking ass and taking names. She's independent and she's in St. Louis still. And it's like hard to get out of St. Louis, and she's got a baby. So, you know, she's tough. She's tougher than me.
That's amazing. I love, you know, family support. If anything, you know, it's important to have connections, you know, and especially if it's, you know, something that you guys are doing together, maybe, you know, you can do more of that eventually.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Every time she comes out here, we make more music. We got some pretty cool songs.
So you say it was hard to get out of, you know, St. Louis, you as an individual in general. How was your journey coming to LA?
It was long, but like, coming from St. Louis, like there's really no money, you know, like my mom adopted like a bunch of kids. She adopted my best friends, and she would just take in like people. We always had extra like mattresses and cots and stuff like that at the house for people. And yeah, like we come from poverty. Like we don't come from like always having food and like lights on and stuff like that. And so I really appreciate everything that I do, and like I work really hard. So moving myself from St. Louis, I moved with my family to Florida for a while. I was down there trying to go to college, and I just really felt like, you know, like I could feel my dreams like passing by, even though like I still want to go back to college. Like I love that I could, you know, that education, good education was like in my reach, because that's something that's also not offered. But I moved myself to New York. I'm like, I couldn't wait any longer. So I only had like $300 in my pocket. I'm like, I can't save up enough money, you know? So I moved there and I busted my ass there, got a nice place in Manhattan, and then came out here to LA. And the move was a big jump for me, because I had to decide whether I was going to give up pretty much all my security to go sleep on a couch or go sleep in like a walk-in closet, you know? Like I didn't have money, and my team was like, yo, like you can cash here. It's a production house. We got like 8 people living here. Like it's all dudes, but like we work every day. So, and I was on it. Like I had $0 to my name, but I was meeting with all these artists. Every time I got into a studio, I made a point to make sure I got on that mic no matter what, like, and be in the studio every single day recording, just practicing. Because whenever I'm out here and I'm meeting these people, like that's like in the friendliest way, that's my competition. That's like my standard. Like if I can't play with the big dogs who've been doing this for like 10, 15 years, like then I can't keep up, and I don't want to have to take like 5 steps back, you know? So it was needed. I'm glad I moved out here.
I like your hunger. I like your drive. You seem that, you know, you kind of really have your head on your shoulders for being so young and being in an industry where it's like, it's really to be determined, you know, by any way. It could be, you know, one hit could get you up to the top, or, you know, it could take several, and just depending on, you know, what drive that you really have. But I feel like it also, like everything comes at a time when it's supposed to, in a sense. Like, you know, I came out to LA not knowing what I was going to do, whatever, but that also made my drive even harder, because it's like, I don't have a choice to fail. I'm not failing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It seems like you're kind of in the same kind of boat, where it's like, you know, go big or go home was my motto, and I'm not going home.
Exactly. It's good to be uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable, it puts you in a place where you want to grind. You know, some people can't handle it, and that'll show you like if it's going to make or break you, like if you're made for it. But I feel like the second I get comfortable, I'm constantly trying to put myself into a position to where like I'm a bit uncomfortable again. Like I've started other businesses, you know, I'm like, okay, cool. Like the music thing, like I do this, but you know, I would wake up every day and like bother my management. They're like, you need a hobby. And I'm like, singing is my hobby. They're like, you need another hobby. I'm like, cool. I'm going to start like 5 businesses and juggle them all at once.
So what are those 5 businesses? Have you started them yet? Or you have aspirations to do that? I know you have a line of voodoo dolls.
I do. So my voodoo doll collection is really cool. So like my family, like we got Creole in our family. So that's something that I've always like practiced with. And it's like a taboo thing. So it's a thing that a lot of people don't know about. And I don't know anyone else pushing it. So I make voodoo dolls. I also make like plushies. I do tarot card readings and crystal ball readings. But I'm also starting like a line of just like earthy ass like skincare and like body, you know, oils and whatnot. And I feel like that kind of ties into it. I don't really take medication like at all. So
Herbal life.
Yeah, I stay pretty like natural for the most part. And beyond that, I've got a clothing line coming out. I've been hand working on my merch, so that's exciting. My boyfriend skateboards, so we've been working with different skateboarding companies, working on designing like cool decks and whatnot. And yeah, that's what I've got so far, you know.
Staying busy. Yeah. I like it. It's, you know, especially right now, it's a time where it's like, it's the best time to start businesses. And you know what I mean? It is, hard to, manage 5 of them or whatever, but it's all just having those aspirations. They all can blend into one.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, it's just whatever works for your brand. So what, with the whole voodoo stuff, is that something that you have a heavily background into, that your family, you said you have Creole. So explain to us a little bit more, since there's a lot of people, myself included, that don't really know all about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like certain things, like they get like weird reputations, especially with TV and like stigmas. But my whole thing is like, I don't judge. Like I don't know. I feel like we all judge a little bit on the inside, but it's a thought that like, I guess corrects it. It's really just natural, like in pretty much every religion, like they have numerous different gods, except for maybe like a couple religions have like one god, But I mean, voodoo is almost the same practice. It's just having multiple different gods and worshiping like everything around you, from like the air to the water to the sun, almost like how like Mayans were, So it's one of those old time like traditional religions. And but I'm not extremely religious, I don't practice any one thing. I like to dabble. But with that, I just definitely believe in manifesting energy, natural herbal things, so plants and
Is that why you're so, like earthly yourself, as far as like you say with your skincare, you're starting now, and like you don't take medicine over the counter? Is that something that was implemented in your life growing up, or something you did as an adult yourself?
It's something I did myself. My mother, like she practices with like the stones and, like the incense and the herbs and whatnot and stuff like that. But for me, like, the greatest gift that she could have given me, and she didn't raise me with any one religion, like belief. She never pushed any of her things on me, but she did offer me all the tools to go out and like search myself. So she sent me to a bunch of different churches. She gave me like books on different like ways of life, and not just with religion, but with just like everything.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because it's important, sometimes, just people in general have or people push their own practices on things. So it's like allowing you to have the freedom and knowledge to like kind of find your own way. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. My way was like that itself. My family was not really religious, but my friends growing up we were from a small town. So I went to different churches and saw what kind of like religion worked for me or what didn't work. And then in college, I took a religions class, and I was really fascinated with the whole Buddhist and Buddhism and things like that. But it's like, there are certain things that you couldn't fully conform to because of just everyday life or how things have changed or evolved. So it's cool. I just, knowledge is power. So I feel like it's really cool to educate people on the things that may be taboo and that you don't really know, because people get a misconception of a lot of things if you don't have knowledge about it.
Yeah. For me, it's like, it's all about like liberation, no matter what it is. Like, just take like, I don't even know how much time, even like 3 minutes, and just like take yourself out of like whatever mindset that like you've been given or like you have right now, and just try to think like a different way, because like any one way of life like isn't correct. And I feel like it's very like, what is that word? Like like you're so full of yourself to believe that like your way of life is the only way and the correct way of life. But, these are the bees, teach their own, if that's the way that you believe. For sure.
That's my motto, is to each his own. What works for you may not work for me, but as long as it doesn't affect my immediate life, then more power to you.
Right. True.
So let Private Talk know where we can find your businesses, where we can find you, and let's get to know you a little bit more.
Nice. Okay, so you can find all of my businesses. Really, everything's connected to Instagram. I sell my voodoo dolls directly from Instagram, and I have a website actually from there too. So it's Naked Voodoo on Instagram, and it's nakedvoodoo.com, and that's where you can find all of my cool little witchy items. Wannabe IV, I Eat Boys, both of those, clothing lines, lingerie. I've got things for men and women. They're both websites and the same tag on Instagram.
I Eat Boys, I like that. Very clever.
Right? I Eat Boys, I thought it was fire. I'm just like, yo, but I have I Eat Girls too. I don't know what I was going to do.
Don't discriminate. I like that.
Gotta have both.
I like that a lot. All right, Private Talk, you heard her. I hope you're loving this episode. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and then we're going to get back to my favorite part, Truth with Texas. All right, Private Talk, we are back, and we have Ivy on the couch with us, and we are about to play Truth with Texas. So you said you've watched one of the interviews before, so did you get the part to the game? I guess it's my favorite.
I haven't, so I'm so excited.
I like it. So we're going to go through all of the cards. Each ace is a different suit, and each question gets a little bit different and a little bit kinkier, romantic, a little sexy.
Right, okay.
We do it all. All right, let's get to it, Private Talk. Pick one for me.
I'm going to pick the first one. Do I look at it?
Yes, let us know what it is.
It is a Ace of diamonds.
Diamonds. All right.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Diamonds are a spicy question here at Private Talk.
Goodness.
We're going to start off the back with spicy. All right. Spicy. We won't go too hard on you first, but all right. What's your favorite sex position?
My favorite sex position. Shit.
There's a lot of them.
I know. I'm over here like running through the fucking car.
We know you have sex, girl.
No.
I want the truth.
We want the truth here at Private Talk.
Honestly, if I'm not getting head, it's doggy. I don't know why.
So you definitely, if you're not getting head, it's doggy. So you're only in doggy, or you're getting your pussy eaten. That's it.
No, I mean I do more than that, but those two.
But those are your
favorite.
like top notch.
Yeah, if you're trying to come after my heart, like it's those two. For
I
sure.
like that. Most people wouldn't say come after my heart and doggy in the same sentence, but
Yeah.
but big booty girls like myself know right what you're talking about. I get it.
It makes my butt move a little bit, and I feel a little bit better about myself.
The jiggle. So you like hair pull? You know, you've got long hair when you're getting.
This is not my hair, so I don't want them to pull it. You know, whenever my hair is like down, like for sure, you know, go for it. But this, like,
It's
if
fair
they
game
fuck it
when-
up, they gotta pay for it.
Hey,
Like,
that means they better.
Yeah,
you
for
better have
sure.
them bills.
100%.
I like it. Do you like quickies?
I do, yes, because
You're a busy
whenever-
woman.
Yeah, whenever I can get it, let's go. You know.
How many girls have you slept with?
Do you want to know the real number though?
I want to know the real number, not that like add, divide, subtract bullshit here.
Yeah.
We want to know the real number.
Oh my god. Okay, I've slept with like. Oh my god, my mom's gonna see this. I slept with.
Sorry,
probably-
Mom. Let's put your earmuffs on, Mom. There's a disclaimer for you.
I've slept with probably like 90 something girls.
90 girls.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to give you applause for that.
I'm
I
dead.
think that's
Applause.
great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice. So would you say that you like women more than you like men?
Yeah, for sure.
Have you had an actual girlfriend relationship?
Yeah, I dated a girl. I think the longest relationship with a female was like probably about like 3 years. It didn't last like as long.
Do your boyfriends get jealous because of like being around your girlfriends because they're just like, are you gonna be like leave me for them kind of thing, or is it just like when you're in the relationship, is it strictly one or the other? Or
I mean, I'm pretty just kind of like free with relationships so much is because like I don't like boundaries. I don't like restrictions on anything in my life. But I've done monogamous relationships, and whenever I'm in a monogamous relationship, like I give all the respect because I gave my word. But normally, whenever I'm with a girl, like I'm never with a guy. Women are very like.
jealous.
Not all the time, but in relationships, they're like, listen, it's me or nothing. And like, I feel that. So I'm just like.
Would you consider yourself a jealous person then?
I want to lie. I mean, I'm jealous, but like, I'm
To a
also.
degree.
Yeah, to a degree. I'm jealous, but then like I correct myself. I'm like, I'm not going to act out, you know, but on the inside, you know, maybe later in the car, then I'll be like, oh, can you turn up the radio? Like, why don't you ask that bitch to turn up the radio you were talking to earlier? You know,
So you're gonna throw that shade in there. You're
Just
gonna be
a
like,
little bit.
I'm gonna give it back to you, but if you
Facts.
do that again,
Facts, just under the breath. They're like, what'd you say? Nothing at all. Like, you know, but I try to correct myself. I try to be like my highest form of myself at all times, you know, treating myself like a human, treating everyone else like a human.
I mean, and it's one of those things that's like you get caught up sometimes because then it's like, okay, but would I do the same thing? And then you're like,
Yeah,
oh
facts.
yeah, sorry,
We're not talking about me right now.
I'm gonna let it go for you, babe. Like, go on, do whatever you want. I'm probably doing worse. Sorry.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I feel that. All right, let's go to the next card.
All right. All right. I have a ace of clubs.
We got a kinky question, Private Talk. We're all a little kinky here. Have you ever been caught masturbating?
Yes.
How did that go down?
I've been caught quite a few times. So
Caught
I
red-handed.
know, like
By your partner, by your parents, by your sister, by your...
parents and partner for sure. I mean, anyone else who ever caught me, like they didn't say nothing, you know, like maybe I didn't catch it, but like, yeah, for a while there, I feel like masturbation is healthy, you know, and like no one can do it better than yourself. Like, you know you better than yourself. So, yeah, my mom, I feel like she's walked in quite a few times. My mom is like a cool mom. Like she's like strict, you know, she was like mom and dad, but she walked in, she was like, whoop, lock the door next time. That was her thing.
She's like, go on, honey, finish. You're going to be fine.
I'm like, I'm going to jump out of the window right now. I can't even like walk out of the front door. I can't make eye contact.
Do you prefer toys when you're masturbating? Or do you just use your hand? Or how is your, like, what did she catch you with, like, a whole, like, motion thing where it was, like, kind of, like, conspicuous? Or it was, like, you had a whole, like, toy and you're like, oh, my God, honey, let me talk to the door.
Tied myself up and everything. No, yeah, I have a incredible vibrator collection. So that's my thing. Dildos just aren't my thing because, like, it's a lot more work on myself. And I'm kind of lazy whenever it comes to myself. Like, I do like one or two things. So yeah, vibrators are my go-to choice.
So you're like a bullet type of person, Hitachi. Yeah,
absolutely. I bought a pair of panties one time. So out in New York, I lived across from the sex shop that was just being built, and I went in there all the time. Like, all my homies, like, they worked there, so they would just
They're like, "What up, Ivy?
I know. Like,
what do you want today?"
So, yeah, they were like, yo, we just got these cool things. It's like vibrating panties. Like, you take the vibrator, you slide it in there. And so I gave it to this girl I was talking to, like the control. And we went on like a museum date. And that was a very interesting day.
Did you have an orgasm in front of people?
I didn't, but man, like I was like, I had the tour guide like talking to me. So the entire time I'm asking questions, she'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna turn it up to level 5 this time.
Was it like, did you could hear the vibration, or was it really low key?
It was low key.
You're like all in a private tour and it's all,
I know.
And you're like, sorry, my phone's ringing and it won't stop.
I'm popular today. But no, I mean, I feel like I can always hear it. But I don't know if other people can hear it and they're trying to be polite.
Because that was what I worried about. It's like, what if it's so noisy? Like, how are you inconspicuous?
Exactly. You know, just wear like really thick underwear or something on top
of it. So did you actually reach your foolish orgasm with the panties on during your tour?
No, I did not.
Why? Because you were really nervous?
Probably. Yeah.
You're like, it
wasn't like consistent, you know, it was like on and off kind of situation. So I feel like
blue lips.
Yeah, facts.
I'm not a fan of blue lips. I talk about this regularly because I was just like, why? That's why I also am an equal opportunity. Like, I wouldn't do it to a man either because it's just the worst feeling ever. Like, why start the engine if you're not going to drive it all the way?
Right, exactly. Like, and I'm patient. Like, it's one thing for now and then like later, you know, like it leaves anticipation, but just not at all. It's sad.
What's the most number of times you've done it in one day?
Yeah.
You seem like a very sexual being.
I am. Just because like I didn't, well, let me answer the question
first. You don't seem suppressed sexually at all.
No, not at all. I mean, I didn't start having sex until I was probably about like 19 and I'm 24 now. So, and it was something that was so taboo. Like, my mom taught me about it, but everyone where I'm from, you know, it is a small town. So they're just like, no, like, don't do that. Like, everyone gets married before they like have sex, you know? And it was just like a thing. You're either like a part of the demographic that's like pregnant at 15 or like you don't have sex till you're married. And like no one really talks about it. And there's not like great like sex education. So it was more things that I had to figure out like for myself. And then, you know, taking like certain photos, you know, posting in a bikini and stuff, like back from where I'm from, like I got so much heat from it, from everybody, from my neighbor down the street, pastors, you know, that I've never met. Like, you get it from everybody.
So were you going the route of trying to wait for marriage, or you just didn't choose to have sex because of the small environment you were in?
Yeah, it was more of like the environment that I was in. Like, it's just like, it's shaming, and I don't like that. And I feel like, especially with women, like, I'm sexually liberated, and I feel like all women should be, all people, not just women. Like, you should have a say-so in that, and it shouldn't matter to anyone else. And it's a part of human life. Like, it's not a taboo, and we act like it's so taboo.
Girl, I'm from the South. I know. I did porn. I was a sinner. I was this. I was everything under the sun. I'm just like, I'm just doing what I want to do sexually. Like, why does it bother you that I'm fucking whoever I'm fucking? Like, mind your business.
Because they're not living the life that they want to live. So
and that's true. And that's why for me, I feel like, again, with the whole thing with education and sex, it's like, I saw so many people growing up cheat on their spouses, their boyfriend and girlfriend, doing all these things because they weren't getting what they wanted, either sexually from a relationship or just at all from a relationship. So it's like, why limit yourself and put yourself in a box that you don't even want to be in, but you choose to do the latter with somebody that you're not even with?
Exactly.
So I'm like, I'm not gonna be with anybody. I'm gonna explore my sexuality. And I got into, you know, porn. And for me, it was like how I liberated myself, and for my form of art of how I expressed myself and doing what I did and made myself feel good.
And that's very grown. It's like very mature, you know, to do, like, to take that into your own hands, especially like people don't understand like the heat that you get and like having to deal with yourself along with everybody else, you know, like that pressure on top of you with no matter what your choice is, whether it's like sexual liberation or moving away. Some people it's career choices or just like going to a certain college, like, you know, like it's hard to just shut everybody else out and be like, who am I and what the fuck do I want? And like, fuck you guys.
So how did you, when you talked about the shaming of you even posting a bikini pic and with your neighbors and stuff, did you continue to still post pics like that because you wanted to do that, or you kind of just stopped doing it altogether?
I just kept doing it. Like, I mean, my mom, like, she fucking cried, like there were
because of a bikini pic or because of the comments that people made?
Bikini pic, the comments, and people thought like it was okay to be making like certain comments. And, like I just started like, for a minute, I was like, dang, like maybe I should stop. And then like, I just like corrected myself, like that bad bitch in me. I was just like, yo, like I'm not going to let people tell me how to live my life. Like, so I just got more naked.
The she devil came out.
Yeah. I'm like, and now I'm gonna show my nipples just because like I feel like it, and like no one tells me anything. And if you disrespect me, like I'm not like silent online, like, and I don't like to feed into a lot of BS, but I will make an example of people. And I make sure like on my page, I don't really have like negative, nasty comments. Like people don't come after me like that. Because like in person, like I know how to carry myself, like, and even if I was like flirtatious or whatever, like it doesn't give people right to like disrespect me. Like I deserve respect, like, and I demand respect whenever I'm around. So
great.
I just keep doing things. Yeah.
Nice. I love that attitude.
The question though, did I answer it?
If you had toys.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Oh wait, no, I asked you. Wait, no, now I'm getting lost. I said how many times did you have sex in one day? We didn't answer. Oh, I got excited.
I don't know like the amount of like times like number, but it just went on all day, and that was with a woman. Men can't hang.
But do you feel like you give like more orgasms with the woman because it's more sensual, or
yeah,
are you just naturally are an orgasmic person?
I'm not even naturally like an orgasmic person like myself.
So would you say like 5 to 6 or like 8 to 9, like, or
yeah,
like
8 to 9?
8 to 9.
Yeah, like with a woman for sure.
Healthy orgasms.
Yeah, right.
All day sex is a good thing.
Yeah, it's like,
especially because I feel like coming with a woman is at higher intensity of an orgasm for myself, anyways, that I can speak. But I feel like it's like, probably slept really good that night.
Oh, 100%. We slept for like the next 2 days. I really did.
All right, let's go. Next card.
Ooh, Ace of Hearts.
Ooh, the romantic questions. Would you consider yourself a romantic?
I am such a romantic. I honestly, like, I've done so many romantic things. Name
one. What is the most romantic thing you've done for a partner?
Oh man, most romantic thing I've done for a partner. Okay, it wasn't a partner. I remember in high school there was this girl, and I was like so obsessed with her for no reason. I thought she was so cute. And I used to steal passes so I'd be able to pull my friends out of class. So like I pulled her out of class, and she was like a bad kid, so she didn't give a fuck anyways. And I had like, our fucking high school was like 4 stories high. So I drew out like points that made like a heart all the way out through the school, and I left like little notes in each spot. Like I did too much for this girl. She did not even care. She was like, "Where are you taking me?" And I kissed her in each spot. Then I gave her the map. I'm like, "It's a heart," like Ooh. So corny. And she was like, "Yeah, thanks. I don't want to hold your hand though." And I'm like,
"How rude!" She didn't accept your romantic.
That's okay. I just went on to the next girl. Like I was just like doing romantic shit for everybody. I was like a romance hoe. So
romance hoe.
Yeah, romance hoe.
Ivy's a romance hoe.
Let it be known. But yeah, I'm a romantic person. I romanticize everything in life. So I like to meet people's parents, and I like to cook breakfast. And
do all the parents love you, Ivy?
Oh my God, they love me. They're like, "Why aren't you married?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make such a good impression that the next girl that meets them, like, your mom's gonna throw shade for sure." Like she's like, "Yeah,
they're gonna remember me."
Oh, for sure. They love me. They ask me for recipes. They hit me up even whenever I'm not talking to that person anymore, and I'm like, I'm still winning.
What turns you on most during sex?
I like confidence, and I like dirty talk. I don't like people who have to ask me like, is this what you want?
So are you the alpha in the female relationships, or even in your male relationships?
Yeah, like
are you the take charge girl? You said, if you're not getting head, then you're getting doggy. So what do you do with girls? You're always getting head? You're not receiving?
No, I mean, with girls, I'm always giving. Like, that's like my thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's just what I like. I like giving more than receiving with women, and with men, I like receiving more than giving. I feel like it's more of like power plays, but also like even with like dudes, I have to be like, listen, this is exactly what I like. Like that Meg Thee Stallion, I don't fuck me like that, but we like this.
Yeah,
that's me. Like I'm so dominant, like everywhere in my life, because I have to be. Because if I want things done the right way, like I either have to do them myself, or I have to tell people how to do it. I have to build a team. So sex, I feel like almost is the same way. So a big turn on for me is someone I don't have to tell what to do. They come with confidence. They're like, I got this, They
just read your body language.
Absolutely. Like if I can do it, like why can't you do it?
I like that. So you say you're romantic. What, do you have a romantic playlist that you play when to set the mood?
I do. And you know, it's embarrassing a little bit. I don't know if it's embarrassing, but like so many of the artists that like I had on that playlist where it's like I have like memories too, like dirty memories. I've met them and it's like my hands start sweating. I'm like,
oh my God.
Don't mention that I did all those things to their song for the first time.
I'm sure they like it.
Hey, like I fucked to your song like for the first time ever.
I mean, if I was an artist like that, I'd be like, really? Tell me more.
I know people tell me that. They're like, yo, I use your song in my dirty playlist. I'm like, all right, get it. Make babies to my songs. Like, but
top 3 in that list. What's your baby making song?
Okay, so The Weeknd was definitely in there. Big
like, rotation, The Weeknd.
Yeah, right? He's everywhere. He's got to be in everywhere.
It's hard not to hear one of them songs like every third song you're listening to.
I know. I have 2 different types of sex playlists though, but I'll give you the R&B one. So yeah, I've got The Weeknd in there. I've got like, I like my music chopped and screwed. I like it slowed down. So I like to slow down.
I'm from Texas. I like the chopped and screwed.
Yeah. YF and Lucci, he's in there slowed down.
Okay.
His voice slowed down is gas. It's like Kevin Gates almost-ish, but not as like hype.
I like it.
I like that. And I've definitely got Tank in there. Thank you.
Yeah, he's a must.
Absolutely. So
sexy time. Panty dropping.
Absolutely. And then like I've got my metal sex playlist.
Metal sex. Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't put the 2 together, but tell Private Talk what that is.
We've got a lot of Deftones in there. Deftones is like slow grunge rock, and I fuck with that. Tools.
Are you hate fucking, or are you like, what are there different types of fucking for the playlist, or is it like this one's romantic time, this one I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you?
Those are both like romantic, but I would say with the metal one, like because it does have like electric guitar in it, sometimes they pick up like you could probably hate fuck a little bit, but yeah, I play like a lot of like my slower metal music, like even Slipknot has like slower songs. So
Slipknot, never heard that one on a sexy playlist.
I know, right?
But you know what? You learn something new every day.
Different. We different out here.
I like it. All right,
last card. Okay. Ace of, what is this?
Spades. It's a naughty one. It's our favorite here at Private Talk.
Nice.
Let's see how naughty we can get. Do you have any fetishes? And if so, what are they?
Fetishes. I do have fetishes. So I used to be a dominatrix, but I didn't do it for money. I'm just now realizing that I could have made like a lot of money.
They make a lot of money.
I just did it for fun. So it was so
young,
funny.
dumb, and full of cum. It happens sometimes.
Right? So yeah, that's definitely my thing. I like so
would you say like role playing?
Role playing for sure. I'm a fucking kink. I'm into like a lot of things. I like bondage. I met a guy out in Atlanta one time. I just randomly, and he like works in IT, and IT guys are freaky. Like people in IT are freaky. So
video gamers, IT, they all are freaks.
I'm like, do you have a charger for your phone? He's like, yeah, actually in my closet. He opened up his closet and it was just like ropes and ropes and ropes and ropes and like bondage stuff. And I'm like, I know he ain't opened that to show me no charger. And he was just like, yeah, I actually don't have a charger. And I'm like, if you want to bring out your ropes, just say so. So like, and that was the first time I'd ever been like tied up, and I was like, yo, this is doing it for me right now.
So I was going to ask you, because of like you being the alpha, you were like just willing to be tied up. You weren't be like, no, let's try you up.
I did tie him up. I'm actually pretty good at it, but I do like being a switch. Like, but that's the only time that I don't like being like the dominant, is whenever that person's so confident like in what they're doing, and they know what they're doing. And
because you're like they're like, teach me. Kind of thing.
Yeah,
like, yeah,
absolutely. But that's like rare.
What kind of porn turns you on? What's your porn history search?
Honestly, I
or do you just make your own porn, girl?
I mean, I do, but like that stays in my phone. I never let other people have it. I'm like, if you don't watch it, I gotta come over. We watch it together. Like that's it. So, but I know I was just like, I'm trying to prepare myself, just in case one day, like I happen to be like the Kim K of 2021 and so on. Like
if something leaks and you're like, wow,
it's got to be good quality. So it has to be on my phone. I know my angles, but yeah, my porn history is looking like, oh man, it's going to say a lot about me. Okay. So hentai is like what I watch a lot right now. Like if I watch porn, it's hentai, and I don't know why I'm into it. 'Cause like it's cartoon, and I was like, nah, this ain't it for me. And one day it was just it for me. And I'm like, okay. So that's something else I learned about myself. And I honestly like, oh my God, I feel so weird saying it, like small white girls.
Okay.
And then like really buff dudes. Like, I don't know
one
why.
extreme and the next.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why. It's just a thing for me. So I tried to watch lesbian porn, and I'm just like, it's really not for lesbians. Like, I feel like a lot of it isn't for lesbians. I saw a girl fuck another girl with a shoe, like a heel, and I'm like, I wouldn't, that's not a thing that's gonna happen.
I mean, I've had my foot inside a girl, but I'm not with the shoe.
Yeah,
per
no, it was
se.
like the heel. It was like a stiletto. I was like,
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. Or like your vagina would probably be real angry afterwards. And I don't
yeast
see
infection
how.
central. Like,
True. Hopefully this was like before COVID times, before you don't know what's going on.
True. Like, I know it.
Have you ever seen an Alexis, Texas movie?
I believe I have. I
mean, I'm not a small white girl, so I may not be your forte, but
no, honestly, you know what? I'm not super picky. That's just something like, if I had like a fetish category, like those would be it. But I've seen like
mine are feet.
spectrum.
I like feet.
You like feet?
I
know,
do.
honestly, like I've sold foot photos, and I never liked my feet. I got long ass toes, but I've sold foot photos. People are like, yo, like I'll give you like money for your feet, and I'm like, if you give me 2 bands,
It's a
right
big
now.
market. It's
Yeah.
a big market. I love feet. Feet are just sexy to me, and like
Yeah.
the way they look in shoes. I like the way that their like arches are.
Right.
It's just hot. And then even like being fucked and having your foot like sucked on, best feeling ever.
Hey.
Because you have all your nerve endings at the bottom of your feet. So you know, you go home and practice with your man, girl. Be like, oh, I learned this today. Stick your foot in my.
My man is not into feet. He's not a foot person, but you know, never mind.
What? We want to know.
No.
You can't start that.
I want the truth.
You can't start that and be like, never mind, private talk week.
Just before my man, there's just lots of people that are into feet. I know people that, yeah.
It sounds like you're reminiscing down a.
I know.
I'm
gonna like,
foot
I'm
walk
gonna stop.
with you. There was that one time with that foot, and I mean, I can't talk about it right now.
My boyfriend's gonna watch this and be like, "Oh yeah, just hit on replay." But no, for sure, there are people that I've met that are definitely into feet, and it was something new for me. They're like, "Give me your foot." I'm like, "You want my foot?" All right.
I mean, if you haven't tried it, private talk, I would definitely recommend.
10 out of 10 on Yelp.
Hey, got him. All right. Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions for you? What's it like being an adult entertainer, right? Amongst the other things that you do, and meeting people. Do people, you know, do they run up to you? Do they want photos? Is it difficult for you to feel like you can step out of that?
So let's see. So I feel like it's time and place. I feel like, yes, there has been time people have run up to me. Some people want to take photos.
Right.
But I feel like it's not an all the time thing. Like I'm not like some like J-Lo where people are like, oh my God, like running around and anything. But you know, you get a lot of people. For me, it's always like, you look like somebody, and like they don't really want to tell you, they're like kind of thing. And I'm like, oh really? Who do I look like? And then I'll make them kind of say it, because it's like, I don't really, I'm like, if you're gonna say that and have balls enough to whatever to like come up to me, then I'm gonna play with you a little bit.
Yeah,
I like
for
to
sure.
icebreakers things. But for me, you know, my career has been really really great to me. I've been really, you know, met a lot of cool people. I've had a really great experiences. I don't really have anything negative to say about it. So it's all been a really great journey. It's definitely not who I am. It's a part of who I am. And one thing that I do, I haven't shot movies in like 3 years at least. But it's definitely something that I still stay connected with my brand and with the industry. And, you know, I love, talking about sex because I feel comfortable about it. And I like people opening up about it a little bit more, because it's just, you know, I feel like it needs to be talked about.
Right.
It's like, you know, everybody's doing it. It's how we were born, you know what I mean? So it's not like, you know, like you said, the taboo aspect of it. So for me, it's just more about educating people and, you know, keeping it more like, it doesn't define me. It's just a part of what I like to do. So I think that, you know, especially with my podcast, you know, this was the first kind of platform that I've had to speak my mind and my opinions about things without being censored, and given like my full truth about everything. So I really have had the honor to like be, you know, give private talk what they want without just seeing like, oh, she just does porn.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different facets of my life that, you know, it's just a part of evolving who Alexis Texas is altogether.
Right.
But, you know, it's definitely been a really great experience, and it's opened a lot of doors for me. So I definitely appreciate all those Alexis Texas fans. And yeah, that's how I got to meet you, Ivy.
Great.
I want to be here.
Wonderful.
For sure.
Yeah, I understand. It's difficult to step out of one thing. Some people are like known for one thing and they do like a million other things. So
well, that's why it's about
good that
branding. You know what I mean? And that's why building it up. You know, I've been Alexis Texas for over 10 plus years, and you know, it was just a part of like my stepping stone. I feel like to get me to the platform what my full potential really is.
Absolutely, and it's great that you have like your own podcast where you can like, you know, like you said, you're not censored. Like, this is you, so you're not doing it underneath someone else's, like.
It's all truth with Texas, Ivy.
Amazing.
Appreciate you coming and taking the time out of your busy schedule. Good luck to everything that you have going on.
Thank
And we can't wait to see your album drop. And I think that's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, very excited.
Let us know where we can see you one more time so we can support you.
Right. Okay. So if you're looking for me on social media, it's Ivy4. You can find me at any of my handles. I got Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. If you're looking for my music, it's on all streaming platforms, and it's Ivy4. Check out my new single, Work Too Hard.
All right, Private Talk. I hope you liked this episode. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time.
What's up, guys? It's your girl, Ivy. You just tuned into Private Talk Podcast. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe below.